Hello friends, myself I am Preeti, he is Abhijit and she is Kalyani. We all are here to ask you common questions regarding CA examination from our beloved CA Hariharan sir. He is a costing faculty. And hello sir.
Yes. Good evening, students. What are all the doubts you are having? Please ask.
Sir, to start with, is there any chances for the exam to get postponed to June instead of May 2019?
As of now, there is no notification from the ICI. We have to wait for the announcement. Whether they are going to postpone or not, as if May examination is going to start, you have to prepare for the examination. Chances are that 50% chances are that to postpone the examination for 1 or 2 weeks alone. If there is a postponement of examination, that excess day is a bonus day for the purpose of your revision. So make sure that is only for the purpose of revision. So prepare and complete at the earliest as if you are going to write May examination.
Yes, sir. So now having a May exam in our mind, we are just left over only with 2.5 months. That is March and April, and Feb already. Just where 2 weeks is left over. So how do we start preparing again if for the students who have not cleared the exam? Is it possible to write both the groups? And what's your advice on the students who are going for office also simultaneously?
Many of them having the same doubt. The remaining 2.5 months, because yesterday only result has declared, whoever's result has been postponed, whether the remaining 2.5 months is sufficient enough to prepare for both the groups or not. Always remember one thing, if you are not in the position to clear the previous examination, you got 30-35 is an average mark. Then to clear the examination, remaining 15% only, average 15 marks. Therefore, your mindset is as if you are going to prepare from the beginning, you are going to start. That's why you are getting the tension whether the 2.5 months is sufficient or not. Remember one thing, you are going to do the revision only. So, for revision, 2.5 months more than sufficient to write both the groups. I repeat once again, you are not going to prepare from the beginning. Already you have prepared, already you cross some marks. Then to excess mark only you have to score to clear the examination. Therefore, remaining 2.5 months more than sufficient. So, prepare accordingly. To prepare, you need some study plan. Failure to plan is equal to planning to fail. Plan properly. Appointed time you have to start, and you should need day-wise study plan. You know how many papers you are going to write. In case of IPC student, you have to write 7 papers. Intermediate new scheme means 8 papers. Remaining how many days are there? Out of number of days, 2.5 months, you have to earmark for one more revision also. Therefore, if you are going to park accordingly, total number of days available divided by number of subjects is equal to per subject how many days you are having in hand. That you can be the person to have the plan. Accordingly, you have to complete. So, 2.5 months is more than sufficient for a revision. You are going to do the revision only. Person who is going for the office goers, you have to take a leave, get the permission from your boss and request to your boss. So, thereafter you have to prepare for the exam. Till you are going to get the leave, you have to prepare simultaneously. Morning as if you are going to attending the class. If you are going to attend the class, you used to wake up at 5:30. You are attending the class at 6:30, class time used to start. As if you are going to attend the class, you have to prepare in the morning session. So prepare properly, and once if you got the leave, and you have to prepare for the remaining papers also. So definitely you are having chance to clear in the coming examination itself. Therefore prepare for the best and prepare right from the beginning. The time limit is more than sufficient, you nothing to worry.
Sir, if there is any lack in preparation, is it advisable to go for a crash course?
Now the students' mentality, anything and everything they want to attend the class. If your repeat is better, depending upon the mark you have to decide. If you are strong in concept and if you cross 40-48% of marks, then you no need to waste money by way of attending the class. Instead of that, you can be the person to write the test. Test will help you like anything to clear the examination. In schools and all, we never thought about failures. There is no concept of attempt also. Everybody has cleared in the very first examination and everybody want to clear with the highest mark. The moment you join the professional course only, we are having the confusion. whether you have to attend more than one session, one class, whether you have to attend only single group or both the groups. So better you can prepare from now and write the test. Some particular paper, if you got very low mark, ITSM, assume you are not much comfortable. I got only single digit mark. If you are going to get if you got very low mark in that particular subject, it may be advisable to attend that class. Otherwise, instead of wasting your parents' money, sit and prepare properly, write mock test. Writing one model exam is equal to avoiding one attempt. If you are going to have the writing practice, definitely you can clear the exam. Instead of going for the class, better you can write. Unless otherwise you are not confident, accordingly you have to decide yourself.
Sir, nowadays many of the students are facing problems with completing the entire paper within 3 hours. So how to overcome that situation and how to effectively utilize the 3 hours, including the 15 minutes before starting the exam, sir?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question. Many people may not know how to complete the exam within 3 hours. They are doing their hard work, 9 months, superb preparation they are doing, but everything going to be materialized only if you are going to write the examination. That you have to deliver the answer within 3 hours. For the time management is important, speed is important. So, how to improve your speed, how to complete the examination within 3 hours, that's an art. First, you should know how we have to make use of the 15 minutes of time. What is the 15 minutes? The moment they are going to given the question paper, 1:45 they are issuing the question paper. 1:45 to 2 o'clock is a reading. You have to time for only for the purpose of reading the question paper. 2 to 5 is the examination time. The 15 minutes time, what you are supposed to do? Just you have to read the question paper. I am repeating the same, just you have to read the question paper. You need to understand also, as if you are reading the English novel, first page to last page, just read. Because if you are going to read full question paper, you can be the person to know which question you have to address first. What all the known questions are there, what all the questions you have to think and write, all those things can be the person to classify. There is no mandatory rule, you have to write the first question first or second question second. Whatever the question you know, you can start first. For that purpose, you know what all the questions are there in the question paper. Many students having the habit of reading the very first question alone for the entire 15 minutes. Thereafter 2 o'clock they are going to give the answer sheet. By the time you are going to read the remaining question. What would happen? If you are going to read the question after 2 o'clock, I'll repeat once again, if you are going to read the question paper after 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock is a writing time. At the time of writing time, you are reading the question. Reading time is not going to fetch any mark. With the 3 hours, how we are going to write, what and all you are going to write, that only going to fetch a mark. Therefore, try to avoid reading the question from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Reading the question supposed to finish before what? 2 o'clock itself. So 1:45 to 2 o'clock, better you read all the entire question. You don't need to recollect the answers also, just read like English. The next segment of the question is, how to complete within the 3 hours, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, how I have to complete the examination. For that purpose, yes, the examination time given only for the purpose of writing the answer, not thinking and writing the answer. If you are going to say, out of 3 hours, 1 hour is the thinking time for me, thereafter I wrote the answer. For the thinking hours, they are not going to fetch, they are not going to give any mark. Then if it is there, something is there in the answer sheet, then only get the mark. So writing time only fetch a mark. But at the same time, without thinking, you can't the person to write the answer. Right? Then how to avoid or how to control over the ideal, how to control over this particular word, writing, thinking time. To the extent possible, you have to reduce the thinking time. That's the art of completing the paper within 3 hours. How to reduce the thinking time? For that purpose, any subject for that matter, you have to classify the questions into controllable and uncontrollable. Controllable represent what? Any direct theory questions, any format oriented questions, formulas and formats, charts and all within your control. You don't need to think and write in the examination what all the thinking process supposed to complete before you are going to write the exam. Therefore, thinking time that's supposed to be complete well in advance. In examination hall, you are going to think about the formula, what is the Hall says formula, what is the row 1's formula, material cost variance can be classified into what and what. If you are going to think, then you are going to waste the time. So the thinking time we have to well in advance, you have to complete. Similarly, direct theory questions will be there, short notes, difference between those questions and all the points, everything should be there in your fingertip. So the moment you go to read the question paper, you can be able to deliver the answer. so that substantial time you can be in the position to save. Remaining question, aram se you can think and write, so that within 3 hours, happily you can be in the position to complete the exam. Next.
So what would be the advice on students willing revaluation?
Yeah. Because result has come. Many of them, 1 mark or 2 mark shortage of 3 mark, they failed in the examination. It may be aggregate, or aggregate is there, but subject wise 1 or 2 mark shortage is there. And it's a criticism among the other students. There is no use of revaluation and all. It's not correct. Even the previous batch, 2 of my students, because of the revaluation, they cleared the examination. Therefore, if you are writing written the answer properly, if you are having the confidence over the subject as well as the paper you wrote, definitely you will have the chance to clear the examination. Remember one thing, as per the ICI, revaluation is not permitted, retotaling only permitted. So you can go only for the retotaling. While doing the retotaling, they are in the position to what? Refer the questions, your answers properly according to the mark. Therefore, you don't need to worry at all. So, if you are strong enough with respect to paper you have submitted, and if you are having mismatch with respect to mark, I have expected 60 mark, I got only 30 marks, some huge difference is there, better you can go for retotaling. Retotaling is permitted. You may have the other doubt whether you have to go for both the groups retotaling or group wise retotaling or subject wise retotaling. It's purely your choice only. Suppose you got 58 or 59 in costing paper, if I expected 70 plus, then definitely you can go for subject wise retotaling also. Clear? Or no sir, aggregate problem sir, better I can go for group wise. That person to person going to vary depending upon how many marks you got, accordingly you can decide. So retotaling is permitted, advisable also, if you are strong enough with respect to, or you are confident enough with respect to written the examination.
So could you please suggest on do's and don'ts on preparation 1 day before exam?
Yeah, everybody having that doubt, the same doubt. Day before examination, I am not in the position to complete the entire syllabus. Whatever the manner you prepared, if you are not in the position to complete the portion within a day, revision, very difficult for you to recollect and write the exam. Then 1 day before the exam, what you are supposed to do? Always remember one thing, after you have given the answer sheet, the countdown started for the preparation of the next examination. So the first mistake, what you supposed not to do in examination hall is, after completing examination, don't discuss about that paper, because already countdown started. The 5 o'clock over you have given the paper, means next examination preparation time already started. At the cost of preparation time, you are discussing with the previous exam paper. Therefore, try to avoid. Even after coming back home, don't refer the answers also. So try to avoid discussing the previous exam paper and it's over. So that first thing you have to avoid. Next, how we have to prepare within a day. The preparation for 1 day is purely based on how you prepare from the 2.5 months. While preparing for the 2.5 months, you have to take a short notes, or time not permitted, means you have to underline, at least highlight the important points. Day before examination, you have to read the side headings alone. You should be capable enough to deliver the point. That preparation should be well in advance, you have to complete. So before 1 day before exam, topic wise, just you have to refer the side heading important points alone. Practical problems also, where and all you have committed the mistake, that you have to highlight. The same mistake chances are that to commit in the main exam. That you have to avoid, that you have to highlight first of all. What are all the points you supposed to remember, that you have to highlight at the time of preparation time. So the highlighted points alone you have to refer 1 day before the exam. If you are going to do the same, within a day you can complete entire revision. Otherwise, part of the portion you may not the portion to revise. That may give the fear factor to write the examination.
Thank you, sir. Whether one student can get exemption in more than one subject, if it is possible, what will be the validity of such exemption, sir?
Yeah, validity of the with respect to exemption, everyone knows. Once if you got exemption means if you are going to get 60 marks minimum in any one of the subjects, 60 or above, that paper is called the exempted paper. You no need to rewrite again. But the validity of the exemption is three attempts only. This attempt you are going to get the exemption, another 3 more attempts you can be in the position to make use. But in one particular attempt, Suppose in this May exam, I got 2 exemptions. Group 1 I wrote, I got exemption in costing and exemption in accounts paper. Remaining 2 papers only I have to write in the coming next exam, the November examination. The remaining 2 papers I have to get and I have to clear the examination. 60 plus 60 plus mark is there. Remaining overall average point of view, average 50% you need. So whatever the mark you scored, and 200 is the average mark, right, totally. So 200 minus whatever the mark you scored, remaining mark you have to get, not less than 40 you supposed to get, that is also. Therefore, average point of view, accounts paper assume you have got 60 mark, costing paper assume you got 60 mark, remaining 2 papers, so all the 4 papers divided by 4 is equal to average mark. That average should be minimum 50% should be supposed to be there. Therefore, minimum condition 40 and average 50, combination of both exempted paper 60 mark plus whatever the paper you wrote. Per attempt you can get more than 1 exemption, more than 1 paper you can get the exemption. But at the same time, previous exam I got exemption in accounts paper. Next exam I got more than 60 mark in costing paper, means then that exemption is not valid. Once if you got the exemption, 3 attempts validity period is there. Till the 3 attempts validity period, you are not entitled to get any other exemption. If at all, you can clear the examination, that's all. Make use of the first exemption, you can clear the examination. Therefore, per attempt you can get more than 1 exemption. Subsequent remaining the 3 more attempts, you are not entitled to get any other papers exemption. You have to clear the paper only.
So what would be your advice on MCQ? And is it advisable to take risk on selective reading?
Okay. Yeah, the 2 different questions. Now you know, coming examination onwards, ICAI has introduced MCQ questions. That MCQ questions applicable for the theory papers, not applicable for accounts and the costing paper. So coming examination, both inter as well as final, old as well as new scheme, MCQ is applicable. For intermediate student, because we are all intermediate student, for IPC intermediate, law paper MCQ is applicable, auditing paper MCQ is applicable, ITSM MCQ is applicable, DT and IDT MCQ is applicable. So the 4 papers you have to write the MCQ. So how the paper will be? Out of 100 mark question paper, 30 mark is MCQ questions. Out of 30 marks, partly 2 mark questions and partly 1 mark question. Just to choose the best answer only. This is a pattern of MCQ that has been announced by the ICAI. MCQ is the advantages to the student or not? That's the next question she asked. Yes, of course. If you read the topic properly, if you are strong in concept, within less time you can score the 30 marks. Otherwise, if the same questions they are going to ask as a descriptive question, you have to write lengthy answers, you have to write. Then chances of scoring full mark also it's a little difficult. 8 mark question means if you are going to write all the answers, they may going to allot only 7 mark or 6 mark. That probability also there. But MCQ if you are strong, all the question you raised mean you will get within less time you are going to get 30 marks. Therefore, you forced to become strong in that particular paper. So all theory paper you should be very strong, and if you are very strong, happily you can get 30 mark within less time. Another question you asked. What is the next question you asked, Mo?
What is your opinion about selective reading?
Yeah, selective reading. Professional examination try to avoid selective reading. It's a very dangerous one. Selective reading is not at all advisable. Why, sir? Because if they are going to ask one question and for that they are going to allot the mark, selective reading is possible. You know, for intermediate, total number of questions, 6 questions they are going to ask. Out of 6 questions, 1 question is a choice question. Remaining 5 questions you have to write. Right? First question compulsory question. Out of remaining question, 1 question is a choice question. Whereas in old IPC scheme, total number of questions 7 questions. First question compulsory question. Remaining 6 questions, any 5 questions you have to write. Therefore, 1 choice is there. But in that each and every question, 1 question consists of more than 1 sub question. For example, second question consists of 2A and 2B. Third question will be 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, 3C. In this circumstance, if you know second question A part, if you don't know B part, whatever you are not studied, that portion has come, you forced to lose the mark Because one question, part of the question, A part maybe you may know, B part you may not know. Therefore, you forced to lose the mark. Therefore, it's very dangerous, not advisable with respect to what selective reading. Try to complete all the portion, then only you can clear the examination.
Many students have dilemma. Only if they attend first compulsory question, their paper will be valued. Otherwise, it will not be. So, what is your opinion about it, sir?
The many of them having the same doubt. I don't know how the rumor has spreaded. If you are not writing the answer for the compulsory question, they won't value the paper at all. That's a doubt among the students. It's not at all correct. Compulsory question only compulsory. Writing the answer is not compulsory. So compulsory question means the remaining question you are having choice. For that purpose segregation, they said first question is a compulsory question, remaining question one choice is that. For the purpose of segregation only they said. Therefore, there is no rule. If you are not attending the compulsory question, they won't value the paper. If you are not attending, remaining 80 marks you are going to attend. Out of 80 marks, you have to score 50 marks. Therefore, you no need to worry about if I am not in the position to attend any compulsory question because fully I don't know the answer. Absolutely no problem. Don't get tense. Okay, remaining 80 marks, write properly. Definitely chances are that to clear the exam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sparing your precious time for us. I hope all the questions which are beneficial, which are yet to be asked by the students will be answered in this session itself.
Thank you so much, sir. And guys, hope you all enjoyed the video and hope you all got benefited. And
Yeah, so if you have any other questions apart from this, you can please do ask in the comment section below. And please share this video to your friends and to your known circle. It will be very useful for them. And please do like the video.